As the United States inches closer to war with Iran, on Israel's behalf, of course, it's only fair that we begin to ask ourselves who the men and women in our armed forces will end up risking their lives fighting for or fighting on behalf of Israel for after Iran. And that country happens to be Turkey.
Welcome back, Patriots. Today we're diving deep into some truly alarming rhetoric coming out of Israel and what it could mean for American foreign policy, our soldiers, and our wallets. Get ready to have your eyes wide open. Let's roll the tape.
I'm not kidding. If you just pay close attention to the discourse in Israel, if you read Israeli publications or listen to the speeches given by Israeli politicians, it is very clear that they are already building a pro-war narrative when it comes to Turkey. So let's get to the details on that. Why am I saying this? I want to show you the receipts. So while addressing a conference of presidents of major American Jewish organizations in Jerusalem, Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister of Israel, who plans on running for that position again, said this: Turkey under President Erdogan poses a new strategic threat to Israel.
A new strategic threat? Seriously? It's like watching a kid who just got a new toy suddenly decide everything else in the sandbox is a rival. You gotta wonder, when does Israel not see a threat? It seems like anyone in the region with a pulse and a flag is automatically on their enemies list. This isn't about legitimate defense. It's about clearing the field for their own ambitions, and they expect us to do the heavy lifting. How is this even fair?
Naftali Bennett described Erdogan as a sophisticated and dangerous adversary who wants to surround Israel and cautioned that the country must not turn a blind eye again. When has Israel ever turned a blind eye to anything? Israel sees monsters where they don't exist. But let me just be very clear. These are the beginning stages of what at some point, it could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, who knows, it could be next year. They are setting the stage for the United States to go from one disastrous war in Iran to another disastrous war against Turkey. Now, you might be thinking, Anna, you're crazy. Like, you're being hyperbolic, you're being insane. Turkey is an ally to the United States. By the way, I've got no love for Erdogan, obviously. Okay, I've got love for the Turkish people, but government of Turkey, no, I don't have any love for them. So I want to be clear about that. But I also don't want to go to war with them. That would be disastrous. But despite the fact that Turkey is considered a NATO ally, a G20 country, it doesn't matter. The United States will literally throw its own people under the bus for Israel. So what would make anyone think that our government would maintain its allyship with Turkey if the Israelis want to go to war with Turkey? No, we will go to war with Turkey.
And there it is, folks, the uncomfortable truth. Throw its own people under the bus for Israel. It's not a conspiracy theory if it's happening right before our very eyes. We've seen it with endless wars, billions in aid that should be fixing our own roads and schools, and our soldiers sent to fight battles that aren't our battles to fight. Our government's loyalty seems to be for sale, and Israel's got the winning bid every single time. This is a national disgrace.
I mean, we've seen how all of this has played out with Iran. Nobody wants to go to war with Iran outside of neocons and Zionists, but the American people certainly don't want to go to war with Iran. The government's going to do it anyway. But let me give you more from Naftali Bennett, because he goes further and attacks some of the other US allies. So Bennett highlighted what he described as a growing axis of concern in the region, linking Turkey, Qatar, and the Muslim Brotherhood with Pakistani nuclear capabilities, saying the alliance is attempting to incite hostility against Israel, including influencing Saudi Arabia. Everyone's out to get them. Everyone's out to get Israel, aren't they? I mean, the only thing Qatar has done in the last 2 years is try to broker peace deals. The largest US military base in existence exists in Qatar. because they are our ally. But who knows? Maybe somewhere down the line, they won't be our ally anymore because Israel demands it. Now, if Israel gets its way, these two countries, again, will likely be our enemies. And that's totally unnecessary. They shouldn't be our enemies. Iran wasn't an enemy of ours until Israel decided Iran should be an enemy of yours. And here we are. Now, in fact, Bennett wants that to happen. Like he would like us to have poor relations with Turkey and Qatar.
Bingo. This is the playbook. Israel points, America jumps. Iran today, Turkey and Qatar tomorrow. It's like being in a toxic relationship where your best friend tells you who you can or cannot hang out with. Except in this case, the best friend is costing us trillions of dollars and American lives. When do we get to decide our enemies are? Who? When? This isn't allyship. It's puppeteering. And we're the puppets, and Israel is the puppet master.
So he emphasized the need for Israel to act simultaneously against threats from Tehran and Ankara. So you guys are going to start attacking Turkey now? That's what you're going to do? So, okay. A new Turkish threat is emerging, he says. We must act in different ways, but simultaneously against the threat from Tehran and against the hostility from Ankara, Bennett said. It doesn't end, right? There's no, Israel's our special ally, and there's a country that poses a legitimate threat to their safety. And so we're going to step in and protect our ally. No, it never ends. It never ends, because what Israel wants is more than just protection. They want to expand. And in order to do that, there can't be any competition. There can't be any powerful country in the region that could serve as an obstacle to the Greater Israel Project. So again, they've got their sights set on Turkey. So Bennett intends to be Israel's next prime minister. He is already dropping hints that he intends to run. And I wanted to make that point because usually there's a lot of attention on a few figures within Israeli politics, right? There's Benjamin Netanyahu. People think like, oh, he's the worst of the worst. No, he's actually pretty indicative of what the culture is like in Israel right now. It's true. It's a far right country, and they're out for blood, and they will stop at nothing. Well, I mean, they might stop if they realize they would have to go it alone. But as long as they control our government, they know that they can get our government to risk our soldiers and spend money we don't have to fight in wars.
And right there is the mic drop moment. As long as they control our government, it's a harsh truth, but it's one we need to face. Our politicians, bought and paid for, are more concerned with pleasing foreign interests than protecting American lives and treasure. This isn't patriotism, it's a betrayal. It's time we demand accountability and put America first for once.
We shouldn't be fighting in, including against our own allies. So buckle up, that's coming. And this type of rhetoric, this isn't new. But what I'm noticing is this anti-Turkey conversation is happening a lot more frequently in Israel. And the reason why I know that is because I read Israeli media and I listen to what their politicians say. So buckle up. It's coming, I have no doubt.
And there you have it, folks. This needs to be a wake-up call for us all. We can't afford to be silent anymore. So do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video with everyone you know, and let's keep fighting for America that puts its own citizens first. Stay vigilant, patriots. Stay vigilant.